Hello everybody.
Hello.
Let's try again. I'm Kris. The interesting topic of conflict. Good on you for willing to spend some of your woodford exploring the interesting topic. So, who sinks your boat? Sometimes we've got someone in our life that we keep trying to work it out with and they just keep driving us nuts. Sometimes it's a certain sort of people. Has anyone here got a particular axe to grind? Yeah, thank you. That's very nice. Anyone got an X to grind? Politicians? There's some favourite people that we often like to do our thing with. Now, let's just have a show of hands if you've got someone on your mind right now that you could use today as a kind of working in a workshop as I go through this thing. Fantastic. All right, lovely. And I hope more of you, probably the more I go on, the more you look at conflict, the more you realise you have, which is a bit of a bugger. So, conflict's been with us since the beginning of time. It's right there in our animal patterns and habits, right there in our DNA, that whole thing of fight and flight. Then we've got the whole thing of evolving into ape form and animal form, out of that into more tribal sorts of mentality. And with the tribal stuff, you get that me versus them stuff. So it's still there in us and those reactions we have to each other. Taking it up into our infinite individuality as individuals, and the ego's developing throughout evolution. And so we've got more and more reason to stand up and stand for what we are and get upset about what other people are. So it's a very natural process. Now, when I chose the topic, who sinks your boat, what I was thinking of was that we've got a lot of habits that are there since the beginning of time, and they help us survive. They help us survive and get through. But we've also got a whole new deal, which is the capacity now to thrive. So I'm going to be talking about both of those things today. Has anyone heard of the word sanskaras? A few people over here. Yes, it's a Sanskrit term. And it means the impressions that are in our subconscious that carry on, if you believe in many lives, they carry on from lifetime to lifetime, or they're ones that they kind of plant themselves in us, and then after that they affect everything we perceive and everything we react to. So that's the sanskaric thing. So we're looking at how we can become more conscious and use our energy to transform the conflict situation. How did I get into this myself? I've got two angles. Number one, I figure, having been a member of the peace movement since I was a little thing, my feeling is that if I can't get over someone who's done something to me in a reasonable length of time, if I can't work with that, the painfulness of that, and come out the other side, give it a bit of help, give it a bit of time and thinking and feeling and all of that. If I can't do that, then how can I expect somebody from a war-torn country, from Israel, Palestine, Iraq, and where these terrible things have been going on and generations worth of ghastly stuff that people have had to be dealing with, then how can I expect them to do that? How can I expect them, other people in more complex places, to turn their lives around and overnight suddenly start being friends with each other? So that's what this is about. It's about the capacity to explore and transform. And also the other bit for me is that basically when I'm preoccupied with a conflict, I'm stressed, I'm tense, I'm angry, resentful, mutter, and it basically is a very quick way of taking over my day. It tends to take over and it gets in the way. Is anybody aware of that thing where the conflict just goes on and on and on in your head? In a show of hands. Yes. And when you've got a conflict that goes on and on like that, if sometimes it is an external one, sometimes it's just inside you. What comes with that? What do you get? Anger? Anxiety? Frustration? Yes. Resentment? Often there's a loss of things too. When we're in a conflict or we've had a major conflict with someone, what do we lose? Energy. Connection. The heart. One of the first things that shuts down. We'll be talking about that a little later, that protective thing in us. Yeah, sometimes we lose money, houses, children, partners. All sorts of things can happen when we don't embrace the conflict. So that's my focus today.